What's up, peace, family? Soul Conscious TV.
And doing it out of sight. Can I persuade you to give it up for the mighty?
It's Saturday night. Go have a fun night. The other night was so crazy. Let me just vibe tonight. I just want to talk to some real cats for once, man. That was crazy. He was super. Hey, shout out to that, bro. I ain't here to hate. Time is shout out to that, brother. I'm not gonna know. A voice sweet and low says, "Who is it?" She opened up the door and let me. Never once did she say, "Where have you been?" She said, "You're hungry. Did you eat? Yeah." I gotta talk to the brothers tonight, man. Let me hang up your coat. The spirit is moving me. They said they need a rant. The brothers need a rant tonight. They said they done bust their ass this Christmas. This Corona, we was still out here getting. Don't think you can keep breaking your woman's heart. Hit the thumbs up button, bro. We was still out here getting. It's a thin line. They didn't think we was gonna cut through. The sweetest woman in the world should be the meanest woman in the world. If you think of that way. Let's have some fun tonight. She keep me quiet. She might be holding something inside. This is a special request. That'll really hurt you one day. I had to get it for. I had to get it for my brothers tonight, man. Cause look, we got all them gifts. Still gotta pay that rent. It's a thin line between love and rent. Goddamn. I didn't think my girl had the nerve. Here I am. I guess action speaks louder than words. It's a thin line between love and don't think you can keep treating your woman bad. That's the blues. That's country. Let's make it make sense tonight. The Persuaders. Hold on. Because all right, so this is the thing. It was an explosion, right? That's off top. We gotta talk about that. Nashville Explosion. I was like, okay, so Nashville. And I know Charley Pride passed away. Rest in peace to Charley Pride. Now Charley Pride is the black country singer who passed away in 2020.
Show you the video now.
All right, so that is the vantage point from a security camera at Cross Point Church in downtown. Thank you for sharing that with us. I want to make sure that you get credit for giving that video to us there through the area, but that is certainly a vantage.
Okay, so man, look, man, the other night, I don't know what the hell, I don't know what old boy thought. He tried to catch me up in several different situations. I think he thought I was a Hebrew and I was going to be falling into some racism shit. I don't know what the whole basis of what he was so angry about last night. I mean, not last night, but a few nights ago. But yeah, man, I'm trying to play the middle road. I'm like, I don't know either way. But at the same time, I like pointing shit out. I like talking about it. Why were you so angry at me? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to be neutral at the end of the day. I'm trying to come to a point where we can all agree on the situation. Something seems fishy. All right, so yeah. The explosion, FBI, they narrowing down who might have did this explosion down in Nashville. And so I'm just looking at it because I know this whole year has been about
It's hard to trace the
Black
origins
Lives
of any
Matter.
one type of music, but one thing is certain. One of the cornerstones of modern American country music can be traced back to Africa.
I'm
With
looking
the
at country
arrival of
music
slaves to
and
America in the 17th century came the blending of many cultures.
We had various European cultures coming together with various African cultures, and the people from each of those groups bringing their own musical backgrounds.
There's a very thin line between the music of the slave and the music of the slave master. I've actually gone back and listened to old African chants that are actually note for note songs in America 200 years ago.
Many historians believe the modern day banjo is most closely linked to the African lute instrument called the akonti.
It wasn't until the Gibson Company comes along and does the 5-string and the 5th string and the 3-finger Scruggs roll that we get it like it is today. But it was an instrument that came out of Africa.
After slavery, America entered into its Reconstruction period. As former slaves spread across the country, so did their music.
By the time slaves were freed, and then even later in the 1920s, ex-slaves began to move north in mass numbers.
The division of hillbilly versus race was predicated simply and almost exclusively on a kind of racial hierarchy that this belonged.
I don't even know how we got on this. I want to kind of stay on this. The Nashville Explosion on Christmas. Charley Pride. Charley Pride died on a numerology date of 64. 1964 is known for the Civil Rights Bill. Before that, Christmas, when the bomb went off, is a 77 date, man. And there's so much associated with the 77. I ain't gonna do y'all like that. I ain't gonna play that. But play Pride. Charlie Pride. Hold on.
Time out. It's getting starting with the biggest night of the year for sports, or at least the biggest night when no one's actually playing.
From the Microsoft Theater, it's the 2016 ESPYs, presented by Capital One. Now, here's your host, John Cena.
I want to start by commending our athletes for their brave message at the beginning of this program. Jimmy V once said, you have a great day if you can think, if you can cry, and you can laugh. That's what I love about this program, because tonight we are going to do all three. With that being said, welcome to the ESPY Awards. This is that one magical night a year where J.R. Smith wears a shirt. My name is John Cena. For those of you who don't know me, I just signed a max contract with the New York Knicks. You might recognize me from a movie called Trainwreck. Oh, we got, who's that, Judd Apatow in the back, the one guy? Despite its title, it is not about the 2016 Summer Olympics. Okay, I get it. I get some tension in the room. Let's just address it. Why the hell did they get me to host this thing? No, I'm serious. Biggest night in sports? They couldn't go out and get Kevin Hart, Matt Damon, Kristaps Porzingis. He was my number one, by the way. Instead, they handed to a guy who spends most of his life in jean shorts and is actually proud of it. Why? Why did they go get a guy from the redheaded stepchild of sport and entertainment? Why did ESPN get a host?
Why? Why did they do it?
I mean,
My bad, bro. No.
Did I just spoil the surprise for some of the people? It's scripted entertainment. What we do is fake, right? So I know what you're thinking. Me hosting the ESPYs, that's crazy. Or is it genius? It's time to take a look at yourself, sports, and realize that you're more like the WWE than you have ever imagined. I'm going to start with the NBA. Cleveland won something. That's actually impossible. There is no way that wasn't scripted. Especially when you look at the whole story. Okay, LeBron. You used to be a good guy, and then you turned into a bad guy, and now you're a good guy again? And you left the NBA hanging. What are they going to do when they don't have a bad guy? Exactly what we do. They're going to make a new one. My hat's off to football, though. They got it right this year. Our beloved hero. He was sidelined. Looks like all that was lost.
Hold on.
Helpless in the clutches of his arch nemesis.
Please tell me I got what it is.
But in the moment of truth, Peyton comes off the bench, wins the championship, and rides off into the sunset with the love of his life. I was pushing for you and Papa John. But that's not the only thing football gets right. I mean, they build characters. Odell Beckham Jr.
They build characters. Oh,
Hell, he already looks like
I said
superstar.
this shit though. I said
He is one parent away from being Coco.
the WWE actually keep it real though, even though we know it's fake. But it actually, the fact that they tell you it's fake, they actually keep it realer than the NBA, the NFL, all that other shit. that shit scripted too. But the WWE will tell you that it's scripted. You can see it's like the McMahons, they run the whole shit. But they actually tell you, like, okay, the McMahons run, the McMahons run the whole shit. But in real life, you don't know who running the, you know what I'm saying? It could be the Rockefellers, it could be who the other motherfuckers? The Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Gates, you know what I'm saying? The Queen, the Vatican. It's how these secret societies go about, you know what I'm saying? I got something fucking notes, bro. Right.
Beware.
Carried away from Coco Beware. If that ain't,
I will admit,
that's
here is
hilarious.
the one place that the WWE has you beat. The one thing we have that you don't.
Y'all tell the truth.
Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
A maniacal billionaire pulling the strings behind the scenes who uses every trick in the book to manipulate things to his advantage any way he can. Something like that is way too crazy for real sports.
It's right there in your face. It just be right there in the face, man.
Welcome back.
And they can make fun of
For
it.
over 7 years, I've been laying out.
Hold on, bro. I can't. Shout out to Zach though, but you know the nurse, man. The nurse might have died, bro. Let's do that. If it pop back up, that's cool. But I know Tiffany Dover. They saying that she didn't die. They try to fact check the hell out of it, but they really ain't giving no solid evidence that she's still alive. Though they just saying that they're just giving a fact check. They're saying no, she's alive and well, but they're really not giving us no solid evidence that she is alive and well. Though. Like we need a video of her being alive and well. The last video we see of her is her passing out. What's her name? Tiffany Dover. We might got to take one for this. We might got to take one for this. Shout out to whoever this is. Yeah, that ain't the same. Okay, hold on, wait a minute. That's crazy. I ain't here to judge. We just want to see Pfizer.
Hey guys, in this video, I'd like to talk about Tiffany Dover.
Okay, bro. I don't think we can do it. Yeah, I don't think we can do it, man. I think everybody is thinking like me. Like, I think Tiffany Dover is passed away, man.
I did, yes. So, all of my staff, we are excited to do the vaccine. We are in the COVID unit, so therefore, my team will be getting first chances to get the vaccine. And I know that.
I'm about to check the chat, man. I'm scared. Yeah, y'all.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I feel this. I feel like this man. After talking to that, after talking to King Wise, well, I'm like, ah, shit. Okay. Y'all want me to just bow down to. Because, man, if you notice, man, hold on, pause this shit right quick. Man. Let me say some shit right quick. If you notice, man, the people who really be pushing that wear a mask shit and COVID-19 shit, it be the church. You believe in shit that you can't see. I mean, it's these type of people that ain't using their full consciousness, and I want to just open their eyes and see, like, man, this shit, it don't make no sense, bro. What happened to the cold? What happened to the flu? All that shit is gone. What happened to pneumonia? Like, I can show you the CDC and show you that COVID-19 be the third thing that wrong with a motherfucker. But that would add to the total of deaths. You know what I'm saying? That's going around with, you know what I'm saying, naturally, because they giving you pills off top. Like, check out Rockefeller and his pills. It's oil-based pills. Rockefeller was a snake oil salesman. Rockefeller was a snake oil salesman, man. This is a hustler. Yeah, William Rockefeller, snake oil. William Rockefeller, aka Devil Bill. And this is the devil that's coming up. That's Saturn. Is we gonna conquer what Saturn trying to do? I think everybody is. I mean, all the melanated people I'm seeing, most of them they ain't trusting this shit. They ain't trusting no vaccine. That shit seems fabricated. All right. Saturn got took over by Jupiter in this latest conjunction. So Devil Bill and his little reign is that's what I'm saying. It should be over. All right, so yeah, aka Devil Bill, aka William Levingston, was literally a traveling snake oil salesman with at least 2 wives, at least 2 children, with the family made, a convicted race. Damn, a trickster, a con, and a con man. William was the daddy of John D. Rockefeller Sr. William taught his son through fear and uncertainty that John D. needed to be in absolute control of his world. November 13, 11/13. That's them Kobe Bryant numbers right there. 1810. May 11, 5/11. Oh man, 5/11. If you look up UEP Newton, I'm pretty sure I ain't got that video. I mean, I ain't got that picture up. Let's see what's going on. All right. Pimp C death around Christmas time. Active from 1987, 33 years ago. think he was 30. Yeah, he was 33. Pimp C in the 33, bro. And Pimp C was 30. See, Pimp C was 33 when he died. Now this the explosion took place on Christmas, which was it got 77 numerology, like Oprah, like Christ, like United States, like Secret Society. You know what, man? What's crazy? I don't even know what dude made. I don't even know what made dude come at me though. I wasn't talking whatever he was mad about. That's not what I was even talking about. Like I'll be on some whole other shit. Like I'm way past that, but I entertain it though, especially on a holiday. Shit, you feel me? I done lost my daddy and shit, nigga. Yeah, man. Yeah, we could talk about that. We could talk about it. We definitely can. I'll entertain the conversation. I definitely. Charlie Pride. He's a country singer, and then the country explosion. Same year. 1963. That's when John F. Kennedy died. 1964. That's the Civil Rights Act.
vantage point from that explosion.
Listen to the power. That's a huge explosion. That really shows the plume and how big it was.
And that dark, thick smoke, the heat then that was associated with that.
That's the kind of explosion you see in war zones. That is a massive blast.
You know, it's interesting that you say that. My husband was in the military, he's deployed, and we were watching this earlier, and I said, what do you think, Ty? What's your perspective? While he's no bomb expert at all, he said, man, I feel like I'm back in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
He was like, that is a big truckload of explosives. That is a girthy, big, heavy bomb meant to do damage.
Hello? Can anybody hear?
Coverage of a huge explosion. Nick Barris in the 5 Alert Center. Nick, I understand you have spoken with a witness. What have you learned?
Yeah, Rory, this is getting to the heart of the question of what was it exactly that led law enforcement to believe that this RV on 2nd Avenue was suspicious? What drew them to that location and why? And it's really a critical question being asked right now, and I think we have some answers to that question. I talked about it earlier in one of my live hits, and now we have one of the witnesses, a resident who lives right down there, joining us on the phone right now to talk about what it was she saw. And this, folks, is very interesting. Let me make sure we've got her on the line. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us. If you would, real quickly, could you please give us an idea of where you live, proximity to this RV, and then we'll get into what happened this morning.
Okay, I live at 166 2nd Avenue North. That's the building where the melting pot is located and Rodizio. And the RV was parked right outside of our window. We're on the 3rd floor, and the RV was directly across the street from our apartment.
Okay, so now let's go to what you told me and what I know authorities are looking into as well. It was around 5 or 5:30 this morning that you were awakened, and walk me through it to the sound of gunshots initially?
Exactly. Between 5 and 5:30 a.m., we heard very loud gunshots, repetitive, like 5 to 6 shots. I'm not sure, but very loud, and that woke us up. But we only heard it for a minute, and we just thought maybe, you don't know. You live downtown, you hear things. We've been living there for 15 years. Well, about 5 minutes later, we heard it again. And then I realized, and it was in the same place right outside of our window, basically on the street. So I called 911 for the first time at 5:32 this morning was my 911 call to say that I had heard gunshots. Well, then I went downstairs. We have a 2-level apartment, and I looked out the shades of my window, which I was a little bit afraid to raise because of the gunshots were so close. And I saw an RV directly out front across the street. And I began to hear a broadcast from, like a recording coming from the RV. And it was saying, this vehicle has a bomb. If you can hear this message, you need to evacuate. And all that was happening. And it was still, that went on for about 30 minutes. And then the RV message changed and said, you'd have 15 minutes to evacuate. And then we heard 14 minutes. Well, I went downstairs and I looked out on the sidewalk and I saw that police were at both ends. By the way, I did see a police officer earlier between 5:30 and 6 a.m. walk around the RV.
Okay, so
911 told me that police had responded.
So they had responded, and we'll take it from there then. So what you're saying you heard at some point, and maybe this was something law enforcement had already been alerted to, was some kind of an announcement coming from the RV. I think you mentioned to me, did you not? It sounded recorded, a male voice, but you never saw any individual inside the RV.
No, I couldn't see inside the RV. It was parked facing in an opposite direction, so I never saw the windshield. And, I was listening to something that I think you guys just played on the news, and now I'm not as positive it was a male voice, but it was definitely a recorded voice.
A recorded voice, okay.
Consistent, saying, evacuate this area. This vehicle is a bomb. It has a bomb. And then it started the countdown, and the last count we heard was 8 minutes, and we were in our cars driving across the river. But then it didn't go off until sometime after that.
Okay, so yeah, do you think you made it across? You went over to Nissan Stadium, maybe in the parking area there. The countdown.
Our building, and we were looking right at our building, and we knew.
Charlie Pride 3-9.
But we knew from the time that we left, 20 minutes had passed,
One,
and there hadn't been an explosion. So we started driving back. We came back across KDD Bridge, and we're going to turn down 2nd Avenue. In fact, we made it almost down. We were on 2nd Avenue. Headed towards Broadway, but not quite to Broadway, and that's when we saw the explosion.
So at that point, you thought, hey, this may have been some type of hoax, and then boom, it went off.
Yeah, we thought it was over, and then it happened, and then we just pulled over, and of course, by that time, everything was blocked off. And
wow. Do you know, by the way, just to ask you this, do you know, were there other residents in the building, to your knowledge, that got out safely, perhaps, or?
Not in our building is a vacation rental business. We run that. 2 of our family members are here. We have, and we got them out with us. They were in separate apartments, but they came with us. So the only 4 people in our building got out.
Had you not gotten out, do you think you would have been harmed?
Oh, definitely. You all been showing it on here. We're the building straight across from the explosion. The whole front of our building is blown up.
So you might have been killed. You might have been killed if not for that warning.
Yes, if not for the warning. If that person had just detonated that bomb with no warning and no gunshots, we would have been either very seriously injured or killed.
Let me ask you this too. As someone who's familiar, obviously very familiar with 2nd Avenue, the fact that there would have been an RV parked there along that stretch on Christmas morning, not that unto itself, by itself, just sitting there, is not all that unusual, would it be? There were other vehicles parked on the road. That wouldn't have been suspicious by itself, would it?
No, it wouldn't have, and especially because it's the holidays and people know that parking's not being enforced. I would have assumed that was some family visiting somebody, and they just parked their RV there.
So it's your belief then that the early response from law enforcement, and obviously how you were able to get out of there, is because of combination, the gunshots, which really right now we can't really explain what those were all about, and then the warning from the vehicle.
Exactly. The gunshots, and I mentioned this before, and I'm not sure of this, but the gunshots were so loud, there is a possibility, we wonder now if they weren't a recording that came from the vehicle.
Interesting.
We don't know that, but as we've reflected back on it, because we heard it 3 times, it was exactly the same, we wonder now if we weren't listening to a recording, but we don't know. But the gunshots definitely what woke us up. And then, because the recording I don't think would have been loud enough to wake us up if we hadn't heard the gunshots.
Of course. By the way, do you have any inkling, and not something you would have necessarily noticed, but how long had the RV been there? Was it there earlier in the day? Do you think it just showed up overnight? Do you have any idea?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was not. I went out yesterday morning. I went to do a little last-minute shopping, and I don't remember seeing it then. I feel like I might have noticed that the street was pretty dead. There were a few workman type cars there, but I didn't notice it. No, but I don't know.
And by the way,
you take a picture of it or anything.
Sure, no, why would you? Of course. And can you give me though kind of a description of it? An older RV, a new one? Is this one of those where there was a camper attached to a pickup, or how would you describe it?
It was a single vehicle. Definitely one vehicle.
Okay.
Like a bigger kind of RV. It wasn't all beat up looking, but it wasn't new. It wasn't one of the sleek-sided ones. It was more of an older one, but it was large. I mean, it was a large RV, and it was an older one.
Now, do you have any idea
we
when
got
you'll be allowed
the explosion happening on Christmas. The 77 numerology.
Yeah, we're at a hotel now. Honestly, it's very difficult to tell. I don't know which building for sure is ours.
They are building up for
I know all of our front windows are blown out, our apartment's blown out. I can't
a biblical event. You know what I'm saying? 77 is coming up. 77.
On our backs in pajamas.
And again, since you're very familiar with that area, we know there are restaurants and clubs there. Can you think of anything there in your mind, and I'm just asking you as a citizen who lives in that area, that would have been a potential target?
No, I can't. I mean, our thought was they must be after the AT&T building. That was our thought. Just because, that's where they were parked, on that side of the street. They chose not, thank God, to go down to Broadway and destroy everything.
Straight.
So, I mean, our thought
This
was
is a straight
they must have been
non-flip.
aiming for the building that they parked close to.
Gotcha. Well, that's certainly something I know law enforcement will be going to look at, and that's just speculation right now. But listen, ma'am, thank you so much for joining us, and I'm so glad you were safe, and hopefully
Zion
what you
is
shared here along with the
77.
will help in the investigation.
They had Zion Williams playing on
Thank you so much
Christmas
for your
Day.
time.
Scored 32 points, 14 rebounds, went off.
The Chiefs and I just have had a walking tour of the devastation on 2nd Avenue. And
He might be the next.
as of, As of right now, initial evidence does show that the early morning explosion was a deliberate bomb being set off in our community. And the blast caused injuries and catastrophic damage to this very historic part of Nashville. Now, at the end of the day, I think all of us, I certainly have gone from relief that there were not more casualties, and that's an amazing thing that there were not, particularly when people begin to see the devastation on 2nd Avenue, to relief that there were not more casualties, to now anger and determination and resolve, and a resolve to rebuild and not to be deterred, and to bring whoever was responsible for this to justice.
We
And I
talk to
spoke
these
with
people,
Governor
man.
Lee,
Talk to these
who
people, man.
is working with us to have a declaration of a civil emergency
These religious folks,
with the state, and then for FEMA
they
to
go
work with
ham.
FEMA to bring all
And they-
possible resources to commit to rebuilding 2nd Avenue.
I could tell
To go
home.
forward, not being deterred by this. And I'm
I could
grateful
tell
to our
homie
state
was
and our
smarter than
federal
what he was
partners
leading on. You feel
to
me?
help this important part of Nashville rebuild and come back. There are 41 at least separate businesses that are materially damaged by this blast. There will be others as we see the full extent of this, but already you can tell that it's going to need special help, special resources, and I'm grateful to the state partnering with us to commit to rebuilding 2nd. Now, and I want to stand with our downtown residents and our business owners for whom this was a terrible day, but we are, like Nashville has faced other challenges, particularly this year. We can rebuild and
I gotta keep it real, bro. We talking Nashville. We go talk to Nashville. I
Today's
gotta.
horoscope brought to you by Geico.
People will
Oh,
take
Geico,
note of
chill
your
out.
sunny disposition, Sagittarius.
We are trying to sell us something. I'm trying to talk some Charlie Pride. You feel me? I'm trying to talk some Charlie Pride. KC jump. Born May 25th at 88 years old. Yeah, we know the Lakers going back to the championship. And if everything fall right, they should play the Celtics. And then they gonna end LeBron gonna get his last championship against Kevin Durant in Brooklyn. Because Michael Jordan is from Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the storyline. You know what I'm saying? The numerology just make it make sense. But the storyline, if you can get the storyline, follow the storyline. LeBron get his last championship in Brooklyn. That's why Kevin Durant goes to Brooklyn. And he beat him in them last few championships. You know what I'm saying? When LeBron had to depend on Kyrie Irving. Now Kevin Durant got to depend on Kyrie Irving. And he going to end up losing the last little game of their little saga. Giving LeBron 6 titles, 6 losses, 12 trips to the finals. And he got 12 trips to the finals because 12 is a biblical number. You know what I'm saying? He's King James. All of this is biblical. That's why I immediately go to Charlie Pride. Charlie Pride, Nashville. What was going down? And not only Charlie Pride, man, I got a whole other song. I don't know, wait a minute, man. I thought I was about to be jamming today. Damn, that's fucked up. Okay. No, I ain't wanna. I had some good shit for you.
Four of the hottest young men in the business, and by hot I mean they're really doing it and doing it out of sight. Can I persuade you to give it up for the mighty Persuaders?
So what's crazy? Y'all don't even remember A Thin Line Between Love and Hate, the movie though.
Darnell had a way with women.
That's Martin last little great movie.
A night full of passion can give you a lifetime. But he just wouldn't listen. Until it was too late. I'm caught up in a real-time fatal attraction. A thin line between love and hate. You can't hit a woman, but I can.
After this, that's when Martin went crazy in Hollywood, brandishing a gun and all that shit. He was. They said there was nothing they could do with him. He was a genius, man. Martin was a genius, bro. We went back and watched that just on some silly shit, man. Watched that Dragonfly Jones. Martin Dragonfly Jones. That shit is hilarious, bro. Yeah. Martin was doing his thing, man. But they came and hit him with the shit, same shit. This medicine, man. This pharmakeia, the sorcery. The pharmakeia, the sorcery. It is translated as sorcery. Imagine. Pharmakeia. Pharmacy. Fuck this shit. Yeah, like this is real shit, man. Right aid. The ritual aid. They aiding you in a ritual with their pharmacy, their pharmakeia drugs.
Day, if you can think, room. Let's just address it. Why the hell did they get me to host this thing? No, I'm serious. I'm serious. Biggest night in sports. They couldn't go out and get Kevin Hart, Matt Damon, Kristaps Porzingis. He was my number one, by the way. Instead, they handed to a guy who spends most of his life in jean shorts and is actually proud of it. Why? Why did they go get a guy from the redheaded stepchild of sport and entertainment? Why did ESPN get a host from the WWE? I mean, it's rigged. Did I just spoil the surprise for some of the people? It's scripted entertainment. What we do is fake, right? So I know what you're thinking. Me hosting the ESPYs, that's crazy. Or is it genius? It's time to take a look at yourself, sports, and realize that you're more like the WWE than you have ever imagined. I'm going to start with the NBA. Cleveland won something. That's actually impossible. There is no way that wasn't scripted. Especially when you look at the whole story.
Oh, man, I'm nervous.
You used to be a good guy, and then you turned into a bad guy, and now you're a good guy again? And you left the NBA hanging. What are they going to do when they don't have a bad guy? Exactly what we do. They're going to make a new one.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
My hat's off to football, though. They got it right this year. Our beloved hero. He was sidelines. Looks like all hope was lost. Helpless in the clutches of his arch nemesis. But in the moment of truth, Peyton comes off the bench, wins the championship, and rides off to the sunset with the love of his life. I was pushing for you and Papa John. But that's not the only thing football gets right. I mean, they built characters. Odell Beckham Jr. Hell, he already looks like a WWE superstar. He is one pair away from being Coco Beware. But I will admit, here's the one place that the WWE has you beat, the one thing we have that you don't. Vince McMahon. A maniacal billionaire pulling the strings behind the scenes who uses every trick in the book to manipulate things to his advantage any way he can. Something like that is way too crazy for real sports. Or maybe we have more in common than you think. Maybe on the biggest night where sport meets entertainment, they got the perfect host. So, let's tell some jokes, right? You guys ready to
Yeah, I want to admit that. Entertainment. She's alive and well, y'all. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. No need to look any further into this situation. All my real, still checking for me. All my real, still kicking for me. All my real gangsters know they ain't blowing nothing but drugs. Indeed, real tree, chronically, no seed. When I met you last night, baby, before I blew your mind. Baby, yeah, I'm sorry you ain't that fine. Don't wanna lead you on, don't wanna hit the bone, oh, baby. Yep.
I have to do laundry when I get home. I have to lug all my clothes over to the washing machine.
Then I get to put them in the dryer.
Geico, y'all
and accidentally shrink my cat.
Y'all
Hey,
fucked
what's
the
up?
hoe.
This is Dilio. Website.
Gilio, you we was vibing though, man. That's crazy. That was it, man. That's probably all I got, man. They fucked me all the way up with that. They killed it.